Okay, we're calling this meeting to order. Okay, AI is in the house. So a couple of logistical reminders for everyone. There is an agenda. We're going to stick to that. We cannot discuss those items that are not on the agenda during the public comments. If there's any concerns at that time, obviously we want you to raise those things to your elected officials. That's the purpose of this meeting. But we as a board cannot take any actions on those. Subsequent meetings we can, and therefore, again, please just be reminding of that. People that have cell phones, you got the latest and greatest? Great. Turn the ringer or to silent. If not, airplane mode and or preferably off. Okay. Please, if you do have questions or comments, wait till the person who's the chair. I am the pseudo chair tonight. I'm your vice chair for the Kaimuki Neighborhood Board. So please wait till you are acknowledged before speaking. We want to keep things orderly. Typically, we do ask for board member questions or comments first, typically in-house and then online. So as far as in order to keep things moving smoothly, just kind of be mindful of that. And that being said, let's get this show on the road. What? And then a quick reminder for those people that are online, please turn off your cameras and microphones to save that bandwidth until it's your turn to speak. When you do speak, whoever it is, please make sure you turn on your microphone as well as your camera. We want to hear you as well as see you. Okay. That being said, Curtis, would you please do the roll call?
Yes. Otoza. Hara. Aguilera. Online.
Here.
Gardner's absent. Arnis. Kegel. Mandrick is absent. Abe. Oh. And King is absent. Chair, you have 7 board members.
And the question of the day?
That is quorum.
Quorum. Excellent. Okay. So speaking of, we do currently have a vacancy in our neighborhood board. It is currently designated at a at-large seat. Do we have any volunteers who would be willing to fill or at least run for that seat? Okay.
Yeah, run for the seat. My name is Ann Castelfranco, and I'm a computational neuroscientist, and I work at University of Hawaii. I moved to Kaimuki with my family in 1996, so I've lived here 30 years about. And I knew that I liked this neighborhood before we moved in. It's only after living here that I realized what a special place it is. I'm moving toward retirement, so I would like to become more involved in preserving the community that I love. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Oh, we have another gentleman.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gerald here. I live on Noeau Street on 15th. I've been a resident of Kaimuki for several years now and have some experience in the government and put forth my name to serve on this board. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. So we do have 2 candidates that are currently running. Why don't we do one at a time? Dr. Ann, could you come back up? Do we have any questions from the board members at this time? From the board members at this time? So close. Okay. He smiles. Okay. No questions online? Okay. Questions from the neighborhood? You got to come up and use the mic. Here, grab that mic there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just computational neuroscience related to community work.
No, that's just what I.
Because
There isn't. Well, no, I don't think there's anything directly related. I'm basically an applied mathematician
okay.
that mostly does mathematical biology.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
Well, it just
could be vaguely.
I'm sure it's more than vaguely, but probably it's a bad question. But
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions at this time? Thank you, Dr. Ann. Okay. Gerald, does the board members have any questions for Gerald? Any from the neighborhood? Thank you. Thank you.
Gerald, right?
That's me.
You're retired or no?
I'm an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur. How does your entrepreneurship relate to serving the community? Just kind of similar question.
That's a great question. Entrepreneurs are the community. We drive the policies. We assist in that. I also host a show on Olelo, and we started out as a discussion about education, and we allow anybody who has an opinion about education with some credibility to appear on the show. And I like to operate on a non-confrontational basis, collegial. And what I saw, particularly in the last few meetings of this board, because I watch online, is this is a real good example of how democracy works. This is how it's supposed to be. You know, the neighborhood people coming and sharing their opinions, even if they disagree. And so I'm sort of excited about the opportunity. Thanks for the question.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yes.
I guess you may have already answered the question, but what made you want to decide to fill a seat here on the board?
Starting this year, I'm a big cynic of government. I've been involved on the periphery of government for a long time. In 1978, I was elected to the state legislature. I have since regretted that election in as much as I think perhaps I did some things that would be criminally qualified. And by that, I mean ignoring what the people want. So, boy, I forgot the question. Let's just, senior citizen issues are sort of important to me.
I get what made you want to join the board.
Oh, thank you. Now we had the elections and all that, and I've become more cynical and more cynical. And then I realized that, you know, who's the problem here? And I looked in the mirror and the problem is me. We don't solve problems unless we get involved. And I realized I've had sort of an epiphany, you know, so I'm decided to get involved and to bring democracy back the best way possible. The best way possible is right here with the people.
Thank you. Kelsey, you have a question?
Yeah, sorry, I was raising my hand. It's a question for both candidates. I would like to hear what neighborhood issues that they hope to address or tackle through their service on the board.
Okay, Gerald, why don't you go first, and then Dr. Ann will come up, and then we'll put the vote.
Most recently, my neighborhood nearly got flooded. It was a worldwide event. My relatives saw it on the mainland, and my first issue is safety in the community. We've got to do something about the water. Now, it appears that a progress has been made, but that would be my first priority, water and the disposal of water.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Ann.
I guess I got really involved coming to the neighborhood board meetings with the issue with the development or the Q-Dojo in my proposal for the Q-Dojo in Maumai Park. And I live like 4 houses away from the park. And I was very shocked that we hadn't been notified at all. We didn't get a letter. And yet, you know, we were told that there was no opposition and the project was much more extensive than what I expected. But I've been coming to the neighborhood board for the last 4 months, I think. And I've learned that there's a lot of other issues that I'm interested in. I'm very interested in the transportation issue. I was shocked when I found out that the buses that I used were suddenly disappearing. And I also think another very important issue is the Queen Theater, and to at least to try to preserve it and make sure that it doesn't get bought by a developer who tears it down.
Thank you. Seeing there's no other questions, Curtis, help me with this.
Nomination.
We do need a nomination for each of the individuals from the board members. Do we have a nomination? Okay, we do have a nomination.
Sorry, can you nominate the mic?
That'll be official.
You want me to nominate?
Hi.
Can I nominate one or both? Because we have to vote on it, right?
Do one, because
One.
you can do one, and then someone else
Okay.
will do the other.
Got it. And sorry, tell me your name again. Gerald, sorry. So I nominate Gerald.
Thank you.
Yep.
Can we get, anyone would like to nominate Dr. Ann?
I'll nominate Dr. An.
Okay, thank you. Okay, both have been nominated. This isn't unusual because great that we have two individuals who want to come on and participate. So we actually have to have a competitive vote. So Curtis, I'm going to lean on you for your expertise in this area.
Yes, the candidate needs six votes.
Okay, so we'll go around and do.
We'll do a roll call. Yes, we'll do a roll call vote. Please indicate which candidate you would
So
like
each
to
board
vote.
member will say either Dr. Ann or Gerald,
Dr. Ann or Gerald, correct?
and that'll be their designated vote.
Yes. Okay, starting with Abe.
Okay, so could each candidate come up and say your full name again so that we, for the record,
sure.
know who you are?
I'm Ann Kestel-Franco.
Yes, thank you.
Gerald T. here, last name rhymes with beer.
Okay,
Okay, so please indicate if you would like to vote for Ann Castelfranco or Gerald DeHere. Starting with Abe. For Ann. Aguilera.
Dr. Ann.
Arnest. Gardner. Absent. Hara. Ho. And Kegel.
Gerald here.
Gerald. Mandrick is absent. Otoza. And King is absent. Okay. And Castelfranco has been elected or has been appointed to the Kaimuki Neighborhood Board with 6 votes to Gerald's 1 vote.
congratulations, Dr. Ann. Do we need to take a break and swear her in, or can we do that? Because we do have a full agenda. Okay, so we're going to continue on. Dr. Ann, if you could come to Curtis Hill, we'll take you through and we'll continue on through the meeting, okay? Moving on, congratulations again. So Honolulu Fire Department for your monthly report.
Yeah, good evening. Captain Welch, Kaimuki Fire Station. I just have our statistics for last month. We have 1 nuisance fire, 1 cooking fire, 3 activated alarms, 64 medical calls, 1 motor vehicle collision with pedestrian, 1 motor vehicle crash, 1 hazmat incident, and that was the statistics for the fire safety tip of the month is about wildfire prevention and preparedness. We've had a lot of rain and there's a lot of vegetation growing and coming into the summertime. So Hawaii is entering a period of increased wildfire risk with dry conditions, tall grass, shifting winds. 1 spark is all it takes. Most wildfires are human caused and preventable. Take action today with these tips. Clear dry brush and vegetation around your home. Never park on dry grass. Hot exhaust can ignite it. Avoid activities that create sparks or heating, dry, hot, windy weather. Stay aware of weather and fire conditions, and then for more information, you can visit fire.honolulu.gov and wildfire.org. Are there any questions for the Honolulu Fire Department?
Thank you for your report. Do the board members have any questions? Yes.
Do we have, as far as like Kaimuki, and we've had our discussions regarding Ma'omai Park. Is there does the fire department have I guess a category for that park regarding its vegetation? Is that seen as a high fire risk through the fire department's eyes? How do we, is that something that is addressed through the fire department or?
I mean, we don't have exact, like risk categories as far as different types of wild land, but that is a very, it's an area where I've been here for 20 years and we've never had a brush fire up there, but those houses off of Hiikala Place, off of Paula Drive, they come down and there's a really long, they come down off Hiikala Place and then there's like a long driveway and it goes across a little wooden bridge that we can't get to. So there's like 3 or 4 houses down there that are far away from a hydrant. And at the very top of that valley, basically, as before the houses start. So that's one of our target hazards for a long time, just because access for one, and then water supply for another, because the hydrant's so far away. So that would be one thing to think about. But other than that, like I said, there's never been a fire up there, but it doesn't mean there can't be a fire up there. Um, it can be mitigated with, like the cutting down those kiauka trees helps probably, like just doing those kind of preventative fire hazard awareness is one of the best steps you could take.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? Any questions from our neighborhood? Okay. Yes, do you have a comment? If you could come up to the mic, because if you don't, no one online can hear you. Thank you.
I hate to contradict what he just said, but I actually called the fire department about 15 years ago when some young men were camping in our in our preserve, and they built a fire, and smoke was billowing up, and there actually was a brush fire, and the poor fireman had to come cross country and everything. And the thing that concerns me is they're like, right now, he said no parking on dry grass. Right now, the grass isn't too dry, but there are 5 cars right now parked right next to the developed park area, which why not? We don't have any parking for that area. So they're parked there. And I want to park there so I can hike our nature preserve, but I have to come all the way down the hill to get to the trail access, to hike back up, to come back down, to hike back up. So I'd like to have a place to park, but I don't want to park on dried grass, which we will have in another month or two, and it's very tall. So yes, we have, and then someone else, probably 21 years ago, threw a cigarette butt out and started a fire right on the curve where it's turns from 16th to Cocoa Drive. So it is a potential fire risk. So if we can kept cut down, that would be a big help.
Thank you for your comment. And as a friendly reminder, typically what will happen is during public comments and input, they'll have questions or comments that are actually for one of the people that already spoke. So if you have a question or comment or concern that you're thinking about waiting till then, concern the police and the fire and water supply, this would be the better time to do that. Okay. So to your question, comment, great. Thank you for sharing that. If police was here, they'd be saying, call us. Maybe not 911, but that would be an appropriate time at that point. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or comments for the fire department? Yes, sir. Grab a mic from yonder.
Hi, I looked up the report on East Honolulu, the wildfire status that was published last year, and Maumai is like code red. So it's highly volatile according to the report. Sean, we talked about that, yeah. And then I'm wondering if the fire department has a relationship with goats or anything like that that might be able to work in the park. And if not, then maybe we can find that ourselves or something. But thank you for your time and for your help to the community.
Thank you, sir.
A relationship with what? Didn't hear
Goats.
that. Goats?
Eating the grass.
Goats isn't eating the grass, but you can take that.
Oh, goats. Oh, no, no, we don't.
We're going to let that go for now, sir. Okay. Any other questions or comments for the fire department? Okay. Hearing none, let's move on to Honolulu Police Department.
All right, good evening. Lieutenant Nishimura representing HPD District 7, East Honolulu. The following are the statistics for the month of April. Motor vehicle theft, 7. Burglary, 7. Theft, 19. UEMV car break-ins, 7. And total calls for service in the district was 5,614. Our tip of the month is hurricane safety. June through November is hurricane season. A hurricane warning is issued 36 hours prior to the expected arrival of a hurricane, and that is the time to really start to prepare for the hurricane. Please know if you need to evacuate or if you're in an area that is prone to flooding due to storm surge, etc. Know where to evacuate, and of course, frequently in hurricanes, electricity and other Utilities will go out, so please have a emergency kit ready with all the supplies that you need to survive for several days or maybe even to a week. But thank you. That's our report for the month.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Do you have any questions or comments from the board members at this time? Okay. Do we have any questions or comments from our public? Again, if you have a question that you're saving for the public concern that would be addressed by the police, now would be that time. Okay, seeing and hearing none. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. Moving on in the
Thank you.
agenda.
Thank you.
Lorna Heller from Water Supply is not able to join us tonight. Her daughter is graduating from high school, so congratulations to her. But she did have a couple of things she did want to share. Board of Water Supply reminds Oahu residents that rebates for WaterSense labeled toilets, 1.28 gallons per flush, are now available for up to $200 per toilet through the Water Sensible Rebate Program. WaterSense labeled toilets use 1.28 gallons per flush or less and can reduce water waste by 20 to 60%, saving up to 13,000 gallons of water annually. It's a lot of flushes. Rebate amounts cannot exceed the purchase price of the product. The rebate amount was doubled with support of city's Department of Environmental Services. For more, go to their website. Okay. Thank you very much for everyone for that part. Typically at this point, we go into our elected officials, but today I'm going to move, if I may, one part of the agenda up. We are celebrating two individuals from our community. This is the Kaimuki community. We have two local individuals from Sacred Hearts Academy and Kaimuki Christian School, the valedictorians. So ladies first, Rochelle from Sacred Hearts Academy.
Thank you.
Of her, right? Go this way so you have the mic right in your face.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations. I'm from Kaimuki Christian School, just right over there. Titus on. Okay, that being said, congratulations, both of you. Okay, moving on to the elected officials report. Please, as a reminder, you are limited to 3 minutes. Please don't make me gong you. First up is Rick Blangiardi, our mayor's representative. Brian McKee.
Hey, everybody. Okay, I've got a little something to go through here, so I'll start right in. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you very much. So the first is gonna, I see some of the red shirts in the audience here. So after careful consideration, the Hawaii Kyoto Foundation, or HKF, and the City and County of Honolulu will be seeking alternative sites for Oahu's first public Kyodojo as they suspend efforts to build the facility at the Nature Park in Kaimuki. The revised details and possible location of a future Kyodojo have yet to be determined. HKF still intends to build, donate, and help maintain a facility within the city, with the city owning it and operating it under the Honolulu Department of Parks and Recreation for all of Oahu at some future date. So that is kind of something that I know everybody feels very strongly about there in the room. The mayor continues to respond to Kona low storm recovery. We've been doing cleanup and recovery efforts all throughout the community, state, federal partners, following 3 consecutive weather storm systems that came through, multiple Kona low storms. It brought significant flooding to a lot of parts of the island. We've got cleanup operations remaining and ongoing across Oahu, particularly in the North Shore. Dozens of removal and hauling resources have been deployed, including dump trucks, heavy machinery, dumpsters. Storm debris may be taken to city transfer stations and convenience centers, which are open daily from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., with H-Power accepting commercial municipal solid waste and Waimanalo Gulch accepting residential construction debris. Additionally, the previously planned mayor's town hall meetings have all been indefinitely postponed as the administration and departments focus on efforts addressing the damage from the Kona low storms. And then in the highlights available in the mayor's newsletter, he highlights the Oahu recovering from the catastrophic storms, the things that the city is doing, the mayor's town halls being postponed that I just mentioned, He delivered the State of the City address. There's a thing in there. And then I'd like to mention that our Honolulu Zoo has earned a prestigious Association of Zoos and Aquariums accreditation. I don't know if anybody in the room has been to the zoo lately, but it has never looked better. There's a lot of Herculean efforts on a lot of people's part, and especially the director, Dita, who has done a fantastic job. So we are now fully accredited. That hasn't happened in 10 or 12 years. An additional, the mayor just got back from China and thinks that there's a really good chance of bringing pandas to Honolulu. I don't know if you guys know, but there's only two other zoos and two other places in the world that pandas exist outside China. One is the San Diego Zoo, and the other is the National Zoo in DC. So it would be a real feather in our cap and a big draw. If we could get pandas in Honolulu, that'd be really cool. There's a Deputy Director, Tricia Dang, has joined the Office of Climate Change, Sustainability, and Resiliency. And then I know I'm getting close to my time, but I wanted to respond to some things that came up last time. There's a bus workshop. DTS hosted a Kapolei workshop. There were some questions of whether the DTS would host a bus workshop at KCC, UH Manoa at another occasion in April, something closer to Kaimuki, and they're still working on that. I don't have an update. In terms of storm recovery, we had a question: can DEM provide reports and resources for Kaimuki residents affected by the storms? How can those residents check on the status of damage? Will the city draft reports outlining the full extent of storm damage at some point in different communities? And DEM has asked for an extension for that. They're working on all of those items, and they said please keep on the June or subsequent report. So the report is going to come out as R 2026-00301 at some future point. So they're asking for a small extension to get all that information together. And then last but not least, somebody asked, I guess Lori Amata asked, how many ambulances does the city have? And does HESD know how many ambulances are on island between both city and private residents? And we actually got that. So the city and county of Honolulu Emergency Medical Service operates a fleet of 64 ambulances. From this fleet, we provide 24-hour island-wide coverage with 23 ambulances in service during the day and 21 at night. Based on information shared with our partner agencies, American Medical Response, AMR, maintains a fleet of 32 ambulances, and that includes 11 regular units, one neonatal intensive care unit for women and children, and 2 bariatric units and 2 standby units. And then the Federal Fire Department also maintains 10 ambulances with 4 stations currently in service. So that's the total of ambulances on the island, and it was all news to me. But I will stand by for any questions that you guys might have.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any questions or comments from the board members at this time? Yes. Andrew.
Yes, thank you. In regards to the Kyoto Archery Range proposal for Maumai Park, you mentioned it was suspended or forgone, I think, to have it there, to forego the Maumai Park. That's one question. And also on the status of the environmental assessment, is that going to be also suspended, or is that going to continue? And if so, if you could inform us of the status of that. Thank you.
Okay. All plans to put the Kyo Dojo in Kaimuki have been suspended, and there will be no further action on that. As far as I know, that has been abandoned. There was too much public outcry, and the city council and the mayor have decided to withdraw that. So that's canceled. So you guys, yeah. So no more Kyo Dojo.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you.
Sure.
Her second question about the EIA, is that still going to continue on, or that's going to be canceled as well then?
Is that the EA? Is that in regards to the site itself? Or
Yes,
is
it
that
is. The environmental assessment we had the draft, and then we haven't got the completed environmental assessment. It was, I think, pending. So yeah, it's related to the Maumai Park for the archery proposal.
I could check on that. I would think that it would be canceled, but let me ask Dawn from DPP, and I'll get back to you guys.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board? Yes.
Yes. Hello. Yes. So this one may have been answered before my time. As far as the sewers, this goes to environmental services. So all this increase in fees. First question: why didn't they get general obligation bond funding to do this work? And the second question is, at the end of the 10 years, when the rates go up, are they going to go back down after, or are we going to be stuck with those higher rates forever after? So those two questions. go
Okay.
to-
So your second question, I don't really want to speculate on that one. It's been my, I mean, I would think if the rates go up, they will remain up. As you know, I don't want to say that definitively though, because that's really up to Roger Babcock and ENB. And can you repeat the first question?
No, the first question was, why they didn't get general obligation bond funding to do this work, which is usually what they do for major public works projects. That way, it's not a question, are the rates going to go back down after?
Okay.
Because you get a bond issue, you fund it, you get the money, then you do the work, and then it's done. This way, we're going to go pay higher and higher and higher fees, and at the end, the thing will have been paid for, but the fees are going to be high, which is a big windfall for environmental services, but it's not really fair to the ratepayers.
Right.
But that's the issue.
Yeah, I can take that to Roger Babcock and see what he says, and I can bring that back to you guys next week. I've got an opinion, but I don't want to give you my opinion.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from our neighborhood? Okay, hearing and seeing none. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Thank you,
Moving
everybody.
on. Okay, Council Chair Tommy Waters' office.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, good evening. I'm Tasha Luke from Council Chair Tommy Waters' office. Chair Waters senses regret he's not able to be there tonight. He's actually attending the Hawaii Japan Sister State and Sister City Summit hosted by the Japan American Society of Hawaii and DBET. So firstly, Chair would like to thank everyone for participating in the Ma'umai Nature Park survey. Your feedback and input are greatly appreciated. He also wants to send a big thank you to the neighborhood board and the community for your interest and support of restoring and revitalizing Queen Theater. There will be a resolution heard tomorrow at the Zoning and Planning Committee, which is a necessary step for the city to purchase the property. So he asks, please submit your testimony. For more information on how to submit testimony, either written, in person, or remote, you can go to the council's website. Constituents have notified our office of an influx of crashes at the intersection of Pahua Avenue and 22nd Avenue. DTS says it is conducting an investigation which may require research, site inspections, traffic counts, and an analysis of the area's traffic collision history. DTS says it hopes to apprise our office of their findings by the end of this year. And lastly, Chair Waters will be hosting a Kulia'o Ainahaina Town Hall on Thursday, May 28th at 6:30 p.m. at the Ainahaina Elementary School cafeteria. He has invited DTS, DFM, HPD, and emergency services. And while this is in Ainahaina, everyone is welcome to attend. And with that, I'm happy to take back any questions or concerns to Chair.
Thank you, Tasha. And just to clarify, for the zoning committee, the meeting for Zoom at 9 a.m. Thursday, May 21st. So if you guys are interested in, that's the date, that's the time, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Okay, do we have any questions or comments from our board members at this time? Okay, do we have any questions or comments from our neighborhood? Okay, hearing and seeing none. Thank you much. Appreciate your time, Tasha.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Okay, moving on, Governor Josh Green's representative.
Hello, I'm David Patterson. I didn't get straight A's, so I'm not getting one of those awards. But congratulations to them. The good news is I really don't have a lot to report. I'm hoping maybe at the next meeting, I can get an idea from the governor's office, like because the legislative session just ended, what some of the bigger laws that he's looking at, like he'll give them a green light. I don't think he'll do the veto list yet though, because he's got more time for that. But that's really about all I've got going on for the governor's office. But if you have any questions, I can at least tell you, I'll get the answer for that.
Thank you, sir. And that update would be helpful in the next meeting. Okay. Do we have any questions? Whoa. Do we have any questions or comments from the board members at this time? Okay, seeing, hearing none. Do we have any questions or comments from our neighborhood? Hearing, seeing none. Thank you, sir. Oh, wait, we have someone in the back left. You can come up to the microphone because no one online will hear if you don't.
Yes, I just want to
If
ask.
you can state your name, that'd be great.
Hi, yes, my name is Jason Liang. I would like to ask that the governor hold on signing Senate Bill 2613 regarding transferring ownership of the Kilauea Park. It seems like the community didn't get a chance to provide any input on that. So that is my request. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will send that to office. I can also give you my information if you want to email me something specific so I get your message correctly to the governor's office. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. Senator Stanley Chang, or a representative from his office. Nada? Okay. Hello, is that
I'm
from?
the.
Hello,
Hi,
are you?
sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. If you can state your name, that would be great.
Aloha. My name is Ella Matsui, and I'm the office assistant for Senator Chang's office. He is at the Kalani High School graduation tonight. As we all know, the legislative session ended on May 8th. Several key bills related to housing, law enforcement, consumer protection, among other subject areas, were passed by the legislature and are now awaiting governor approval. Some of these bills were co-introduced by Senator Chang, such as Senate Bill 2175, which would ban the sale of disposable vapes to reduce nicotine use and environmental pollution. There is Senate Bill 2964, which would allow homeowners to purchase additional insurance coverage to ensure that they have up-to-date comprehensive coverage. We've learned from the Lahaina wildfires and Honolulu storms that property owners were not aware that they had lacked comprehensive home insurance. So we have other bills, including Senate Bill 3157, which requires installation of speed enforcement cameras that automatically ticket drivers that violate the speed limit in high-speed areas. If you have any questions about these bills, or to learn more specifically about the bills I mentioned, you can call our office at 586-8420. We also do a constituent newsletter. So if you wanted to sign up for that, it'd be senatorchang.com, where we will highlight some key bills that have been sent to Governor Green's office. Senator Chang is also happy to announce that several critical capital improvements that he had advocated for in the legislature were accounted for in the state budget. These projects include $1 million for infrastructure updates on the Diamond Head State Monument and $700,000 for improvement to the Waikiki Aquarium. Thank you for your time, and feel free to share anything that you would like Senator Chang to be aware of on how we can help assist you with any efforts.
Thank you, Ella. Do we have any questions or comments from the board members at this time? Okay, do we have any questions or comments from our neighborhood? Okay, hearing none. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. This is Senator Leslie Hara. He was here earlier this evening. Unfortunately, he had somewhere and he needed to go. He didn't tell me where, so I'm going to keep that between he and himself. But he did remind you, if you have any questions or comments that you need to reach out to him, please do so via email and or call his office. Okay, that being said, moving on. Representative Tina Grandinetti. I know that she had somewhere to go to. She had the graduation, I believe, tonight as well, but she's going to try and make it here. She did share some information, so I'm going to hold off on that, but it did speak to the Kilauea Park and the Kaimuki. Old person says Kaimuki Intermediate School, but now known as Kaimuki Middle School. So there are some questions that she can help clarify a little bit with that. I believe she got it from DPP or some three-lettered alphabet organization in our government. So we'll wait for her. If not, we'll try and find the email from her and clarify that. Okay, moving on. Representative Jackson Sayama and or his rep. Oh, no mas? Probably at a graduation of some sort. Okay. And last, certainly not least, Congressman Ed Case's office. Okay, that being said, we're going to go into the fund presentation portion of our meeting. These are limited to 10 minutes each unless otherwise specified. We did take the first one out and we did that earlier for the valedictorians. So if we can move on to, yes. Okay.
Should I just stand up there?
Yeah, if you could use the mic and.
Like, because, we were standing back there and we couldn't hear a lot of people. Can you guys hear me well? I can hear myself well. Okay. I'm going to just point it down a little bit. It's really high, but I don't want it to fall.
Make it for you.
Okay. Is this good for everybody? Okay. All right. So I know that suspending the Kyodojo, but I'm going to talk today about our plans for Maumai Park because just because they are suspending the building of the archery range doesn't mean that we're not going to do anything. We want to continue with our momentum and we'd like to make the park beautiful. So I'm going to just start out with a little bit of a history of the park. Can you advance the slide, please? So Maumai Nature Park is located in Kaimuki, as we all know. It's a site of historical significance, rooted in ancient Hawaiian religious practices, and was a strategic military defense. The name Maumai translates to withered grass in the Hawaiian language, reflecting the naturally dry and dusty environment of the Kaimuki area. The ridge is reputed to be the final resting place of the ruling chief of Oahu, and this site also once hosted a heiau. So we can advance. So the heiau, one of which was specifically named Maumai Heiau, is situated somewhere on the Honolulu side of Kaimuki Hill, specifically near Sierra Drive. It was reported that signal fires were lit at this and nearby heiau to provide visual communication between the islands. And there's other local heiau in the vicinity, one of them at the current Leahi Hospital parking lot, another on Kaimuki Hill, and a third on Ocean Drive and the former Wailai Drive-In. You can advance. So during King Kamehameha I's campaign to unite the islands, the ridge, okay. Okay, the ridge served as a critical vantage point. So it was a lookout point. King Kamehameha stationed his troops along the beaches of Waikiki in preparation for the Battle of Oahu. He positioned lookouts at Kaimuki, and it was an area where you could detect, because it was high up, you could see scouts, potential enemies coming from the sea long before they reach the shoreline. And even in my house, I can actually look across and I can see the top of the ocean. So, it's a nice point. So go ahead, advance the slide. Okay, so it wasn't heavily populated in pre-contact times due to lack of consistent water. And then the tea oven legend, broader Kaimuki area is named for the legend of Menahune cooking tea roots in earth ovens. Kaimuki literally means the tea oven. So modern management of the park aims to foster the growth of Polynesian introduced plants and native species. Advance the slide. Okay, so I'm sure you guys all know this, but I was just going to say that, the reason why we all got involved in our neighborhood is because we had the threat of Hawaii Kyoto Foundation coming in and building this Kyodojo, an archery range in our park. So you can advance. Okay, so this is going to include a driveway, a parking lot, a Japanese garden, 2 buildings on concrete slabs. You can advance the slide. And this is kind of like a rendering that just to see the height of where everything was. Advance, go ahead. So you can, actually, this is the old version. That's weird that you have the old version. Keep on going. It's okay. Keep going, because this is kind of stuff that, going. Okay, so you can keep going. Okay, keep going. Okay, so I want to talk about some of the things that we want to continue to deal, we're going to deal with the, we were concerned about with the archery range coming, but there are going to be continued issues in our neighborhood. So this is a video that I took myself, and this was actually not even this current flooding situation, which was really bad. This was a few years ago. Are you able to play the video? No. Okay, that's fine. It's not working then. Okay, advance the slide again. So we talked about a little bit of the fire hazards of the, the park being a fire hazard. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the risks of fire. And I think actually the fire department guy sort of stole my thunder a little bit. And but go ahead with the slides. I don't know if Nathan is a retired firefighter, so I don't know if you want to come up and say a little bit. You know more about fire than me, and I actually got this information from him, but.
I can add.
Okay, all right. Well, so three things to ignite and sustain fire: heat, fuel, oxygen. And obviously, due to climate change, the fire season has lengthened. Go ahead, advance. Biggest contributor is human activity, like the fireman said. So human-induced fires are responsible for 97% of homes threatened by wildfire. Human spark fires tend to be faster and more dangerous than that caused by lightning or storms. And inappropriate burning of yard debris is the #1 cause of human source fire. And then other causes in descending order: arson, equipment use, firework and campfires, smoking, lightning, lava, coal seam. Okay, continue. Fire prevention. Obviously, do not burn debris. Use lawn tools carefully, avoiding removing dry vegetation in full heat or high winds. Trim and remove dead trees. Tall trees can attract lightning. Dead trees are good wildfire fuel. Keep roof and gutters clear. Move flammable materials from the exterior of your home. Use landscaping to create fire breaks, which they actually already have done in Maumai Park recently. So advance the slide again. Okay, you can advance. This is from before. Okay, so part of our plan for the park is to plant some plants that might be fire retardant as well as drought resistance. So these are a list of some things that I found online that might be suitable. And we would like to take a small plot and see what grows well in our area. And some people I'm going to introduce will be talking about some of our plans, but this is just an example of some things that may work. You can advance the slide. Go ahead, advance. Advance. Okay, so I just want to talk about our community's group, Hui Maumai. We would like to take stewardship of the park. We did apply to adopt a park, but we will be working with Envision Kaimuki as well. And we are going to be doing cleanups together. And we're hoping our first cleanup is going to be the 31st of this month. So everyone mark your calendars. 8 a.m. We are going to have a meeting about our plans, and then we are going to get to work. So work would be weed whacking, pulling out invasive plants. We're hoping to have a large amount of people, and but come if you can. So for the adoptive park, sorry. We will be cleaning. So we're required to clean 4 times per year, but we would like to do this more often, possibly, if we have interest, obviously. We have a lot of people in our group who are very expert at planning parks and figuring out what kind of plants can work in park. We have a horticulturalist, a field biologist, a scientist, 5 architects, including an urban planner, and we have a retired firefighter, Nathan. We have also partnered with Aloha Tree Alliance as well as Protect and Preserve. They've agreed to help us try to reforest the area. And we plan to start out with a small test plot, like I said. So you can advance the slide. And we want to kind of go along with the master plan of the park, but we don't feel that we necessarily need the huge parking lot or the restrooms that they had planned. We just want to have some trail maintenance, maybe put another trail in if there's a space for it. And then also just put some plants there that are more appealing than the plants we have now. And possibly in the future, if we have grant money, we could maybe put extra things in like park benches and things like that. But that would be far in the future, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So let's advance the slide again. Okay, this is like before. This is the old presentation, actually. Okay, so advance again. Okay, so how can you help? So join our group. Okay, it's this is the Google survey, and this will be up for an eternity, and anybody could fill it out. You do not have to live in Kaimuki. anybody anywhere who wants to help can fill it out and tell your friends if they are interested. I don't know if people want to take that down. I'll give a few minutes for that. Yes.
Make sure that link is in the minutes. Or does she have to actually speak it? Because that was what, okay, so you can, okay.
I mean, also, like, this is the old presentation, actually, so maybe I'll just make sure you have the right one, because this is actually the old one. I don't know how the old one came to head. Okay, so let's go to the next one now. And then if you're not interested in joining our group, but you still want to help maintaining the park, we do have a jot form available to sign up. And this is just, you know, like I said, anybody can join. And this will only be available until June 8th, though. So please sign up here before June 8th. The other form will be available in perpetuity. Okay, and then now I want to introduce Nathan, and he's going to talk a little bit about, yeah.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone. I have a script. There have been many testimonies that strongly oppose new construction in Ma'umai Green Space Nature Park, citing the destruction of native ecosystems, disruption of water sources, and the violation of cultural and customary practices. Proposing development in this area disregarded the urgent need for environmental resilience and respectful stewardship of the Aina, the land. Envision Kaimuki and Ma'umai Hui have been blessed with the support of Aloha Tree Alliance, who in 2020 adopted the Kuli'o'o Ridge Trail Restoration Project. If you haven't been there, you'll know what I'm talking about. I have the pleasure of introducing Christopher Chang, Executive Director of Aloha Tree Alliance, who has some inspiring words and vision for the future of Ma'umai Nature Park. Chris, thank you for joining us.
Hey. Mahalo. Thank you all for having me this evening. My name is Chris Chang, and as I was so politely introduced, I'm the Executive Director for Aloha Tree Alliance. We are a 501c3 nonprofit here on Oahu that focuses on reforesting native plants and trees to protect our watersheds. This includes removing invasive species, and if you have been to Kuli'o'o Ridge Trail, most of our work lies there. So over the last 5 years, we have reforested around 3 acres of land across the trail that has been actively degraded through trail cuts and misuse of the land. Over the course of those 5 years that we've been working, we have planted and reintroduced over 10,000 native plants and trees to the area. And so when we think about the opportunity that lies ahead at Ma'umai State Park or City Park, I believe we have the opportunity to partner and empower not only the community, but the local community, but communities across Southeast Oahu to come and help to be part of this effort to restore the land. With those 10,000 plants that we've planted, we've empowered around 1,600 volunteers to come and support us in our work per year. That is something actively that I think that we could do in Kaimuki as well to support this initiative. As we've been talking with Envision and Uncle Nathan and his Hui here, there are a couple of ways that Aloha Tree Alliance thinks that we can help immediately. 4 main areas. The first is to come in and strategically assess the land and understand what our opportunities are and where. So what planting looks like, what native plants might thrive in this area. We have a specific list that we've worked on with the state to plant in Kuli'o'o. So all of the plants that we work with have been inspected for pests and make sure that they pass rigorous inspections before they come onto our trail. So we can introduce those same protocols when we're looking at reintroducing plants to Kaimuki. The second piece that I believe is critically important to the mission is empowering and educating volunteers on the importance of coming out and learning not only about plant identification, but the importance of reforestation in the community. So for instance, at Kuli'o'o and with Aloha Tree Alliance, we have core volunteers that we have educated and trained to help our volunteers that come in, our regular community volunteers, to be effective in our work. Part of this is citizen science, so making sure that community volunteers are empowered to help us collect the right data that we need to continue to grow our processes. And so that is a big piece of our work. And I believe, being able to bring some of those processes and protocols to the volunteer efforts here will ensure the long-term sustainability of success. The third piece is a plant donation. So in order to make this work, and we've looked at some of the species that have done really well historically here, Aloha Tree Alliance actually is fully operational with our own native wine plant nursery in the back of Hawaii Kai. So we have a 1,400 square foot native wine plant nursery in Kamila Nui Valley. Of the 3,000 native wine plants that we've brought into Kuli'o'o this year, around 70% of those came from our nursery. So we have the opportunity to see what has done well in Kuli'o'o and transfer that knowledge to the area that we're looking at in Ma'umai Park. The last piece that is critical to any type of nonprofit and community work here is funding. We were lucky earlier this week to be awarded a small grant that would allow us to expand our work and transfer knowledge to a few other select sites around Oahu. There are a couple of criteria that we're looking at when selecting those sites. The first is understanding the same kind of dry, mesic, lowland forest characteristics or attributes that we see in Kuli'o'o in the partner site. So making sure that the same plants that we have observed thriving in Kuli'o'o will thrive in those areas. The second is just making sure that it's an area that has access to volunteers and community members. And so with all of that kind of said, we do have the opportunity to fund portions of this project, and we're looking forward to seeing if we can push this off the ground and continue the momentum following the news yesterday. So thank you for having us, and mahalo for your support.
So lastly, it takes a community effort. So look inside yourself and understand the objective here. This is a Kaimuki group mission, so just keep that in mind. And if you have any questions, Grace is here to answer it.
Okay, so I just want to do one more thing. I want to thank everybody who helped us with our success in preventing the archery range happen here. And obviously, there's a lot more people, but I want to thank Audrey. Thank you so much for all your efforts. And so Audrey and also Juanita, Leilani, Jake, and Derek Turbin, who's outside. And Tommy Waters, obviously, our whole community. Thank you guys so much. And I want to introduce, you guys probably know Oren. He's going to talk about more about our vision and how we want to work, bringing the community together. Go ahead.
Can you come up to front, in the front room?
Hi, my name is Oren Schliemann. I live up on Pukalani Place. I spent my whole life here from when I was about 12 years old, either in Kahala, Palolo, Kaimuki, or Pukalani. So I went to the Queen Theater. I went to see I Am Curious Blue with my dad and Mary Poppins at the Kaimuki Theater. So kind of little coming of age thing, I guess. And I think working off of what Nathan was talking about, the community, communities go through cycles where they stop paying attention to things that make life better for us. And every once in a while, something happens that wakes us up and gives us an opportunity to come together and address issues, the park and things like that. And I think the energy and the commitment by people in the community, specifically around the park, but broadly around the identity of Kaimuki, which is a very strong one, is sort of like fallow equity. It's lying there waiting to get activated to move ahead. So I had a couple conversations with the Waters folks. My background is in communications and planning, and we've worked on a lot of communities and helping pull communities together. And we've got a great opportunity here. We have Ma'umai, we have Queen Theater, we have ways that we can improve Central Kaimuki. There's the Manalani Heights Park that's got a beautiful building that no one can go in, So the thought is we have Hui Ma'umai, and then if you zoomed out a little bit, we have Hui Kaimuki. So what I think all of us that I've spoken to in our group, and I'm speaking partially for them and partially from my perspective, obviously, is that we should ride this momentum. We have the support of Tommy's office to go dig deeply into the community and broadly and pull opinions and people together around our history, our ideas, and our goals, and how can we improve that for the next generation and our generation. So I think the fracas, the wrestling in the grass at the park, the metaphoric wrestling that we've been going through, which Kani and Kanaloa did, has turned into from antagonistic wrestling to cooperative wrestling. So if we can wrestle with the problems together as a community and improve them, I think that's what all of us want. And we've got this wonderful opening. And I would just really encourage everyone to get some testimony in for Tommy Guys, with the theater by tomorrow. And then let's all come together in a bigger tent and talk about Kaimuki in general. And, we got prototype going with Ma'umai. We've got a lot of opportunity, a lot of good people. I mean, you saw the people on the list that Grace put up. Get plenty of kind of good people in this community, all who want to help. Some do, some don't. So I think that's kind of where the momentum's going. And I think it's a lot of people that want to help with that. And I want to thank the board for the last time I was here. I'd never been to a board meeting before, and I was all wound up and, bala'au too much and all that. So, but I want to thank the board for the difficult role that they played in this and that they handled it with integrity and professionalism. And, for all the people that raised their hand to say, hey, not here. Okay. But the good thing is now we can raise our hand and say for here. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Grace, did you want to make any closing words? Or are you good? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, that being said, take a breath.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Yes, just a quick question. Now, if there are residents that want to donate for just particular Maumai Park, and thank you very much for the funding from Aloha Tree Alliance, by the way, Chris. And if they want to donate, how would they do that? And is there a restricted fund just for Maumai? I'm just curious.
Anybody's more interested in learning about Aloha Tree Alliance or our efforts, you can go to our website. It's alohatreealliance.org. We'll set up a specific area where if you want to make Maumai Park donations, we can collect those on our website and we can allocate them directly to this fund. That's something I've got to set up. These conversations have been escalating quickly. But otherwise, yeah, we have a new fund that will be set up. We'll have a portion of it set aside for irrigation, soil sampling, and then the plant incubation for an initial run.
You have a budget?
I do. So this, if this project, the question was, do you have a budget with a goal to hit that's time bound? So this grant will need to be completed by actually exactly 1 year from now. So if this project is something that moves forward and we do decide to pursue the restoration here, we'd probably have to at least hit a couple, maybe 3 or 4 milestones by 2027. And those, all of the budget outlines all the line items that I've been addressing. Yes. And
you.
please, if you haven't been to Aloha Tree Alliance's site in Kuli'o, we have restoration days on the 3rd Saturday of every month for the community, and we're out there every Friday. So come and see what we've done there and envision how it could be here in Maumai Park. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions,
Thank you
comments?
very much for clarifying.
Yes, hold on, we do the board member first.
I want to thank you for coming out, but my question is not for you.
Okay, no worries. Thank you all very much.
I have a question for Grace. So I know, you have partnerships here, which is great. I'm all about it. I think it's awesome. Protect and Preserve Hawaii is not here. Is that correct?
No, they're not here today, but they're still willing to help.
We need
and
to
we get
hear.
their manpower.
I would need. So I contacted Protect and Preserve during the PIG process because I just wanted to get input.
Sure.
What would the scope of the work be? And I'm sorry, tell me your name again. Chris. Awesome. we're looking for clarity, we're looking for structure, we're looking for plans, we're looking for experience. That helps. So I would need to hear from Protect and Preserve because my experience with the email I sent, it wasn't anything like that. Protect and Preserve responded to me saying, we can't basically tell you anything. And I said, I was a neighborhood board member and I'm looking to get insight into what this plan would be. What would be the scope of your work? How many people would you need, et cetera, et cetera? And it was really almost insulting. So I'm not saying, and I could be wrong, but as a great point of professionalism and showing up and being clear, and this is what I look for, if they could come and they could do that, that would be helpful because it wasn't. I can show you the emails, and I mentioned this to you too. That
Yes,
was
yes.
really disheartening.
So they're basically whatever we need help with, they're willing to help, but they're not really leading up the project. So I mean, they did have a representative, I think, at the meeting 2 meetings ago or something. They had a representative here, but I don't think it's anything. This is more structured, and this is a new alliance that we have. That was the original one that I had, and they were willing to help, but they said whatever you need help with, just let us know. So they don't have anything structured, but Aloha Trail Alliance has something very structured.
Short outline of some of the things, a three-phase project.
Okay, if you could email this to Curtis and the chair and myself, then we can be able to submit it better than, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. We'll get it. Okay. Okay. Last call. Questions, comments from the board?
I just want to make a quick comment. I want to thank Grace and everyone for coming out and doing the presentation and giving us hope for what it could be. And also to Oren for broadening the vision, because I think Kaimuki can be similar to Manoa that has a strong identity and community. Malama Manoa is one group that really I can envision happening for Kaimuki. So thank you all.
Oh, you have a question? Go.
Hold on.
How does the division of urban forestry work into your plans? Because I was told that they need to approve everything that is done to the parks.
We're still at a very initial phase of conversation. And so I think our next step is to sit down with city and county and figure out what that looks like. Adopt a Park is certainly a fast track to being able to figure out where we start and how. But this is all really, really new. We in Kuli'o work with the state and DOFA to gain permission to plant on those lands. I'm assuming that we'll, through an Adopt a Park agreement, we'll be able to move forward in that capacity. But this is where conversations start.
Okay, thank you. One last quick question. You want to come up to the mic, sir?
Just a quick question. I was involved in several meetings up there at the park. And the only negative was to make sure that the Department of Parks and Recreation was on board with what we've got. So I challenged the board to ask the Parks and Recreation, what's their position? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That being said, why don't we say we're going to invite Dr. Grace and her group to come back at a future meeting to give us an update of where you guys are and your next steps. Because a lot of the questions I'm hearing here right now is still early. We don't know the questions, all good questions. We all want to know more. I think we need to give them and allow them time to figure out what those questions are and to give an intelligent answer. Okay?
Real quick.
Real quick, last one.
Yes, regarding the gentleman's last comment, Kathy Cho, who's director for the area parks, would be the one to talk to.
And the Wahine who came last meeting as well, but you're already in contact with her, so, okay. That being said, we're going to move on. Again, reminder, we only have the room for a certain time. We want to allow enough time for all of our people coming on. So that being said, Eric?
you're trying to run. You gonna stay? You sure? All right. Thank you. So I'm gonna ask you to switch your brain back to road safety with me. All right?
Turn signals.
My man, my man. I was just gonna
Blue
say.
whale, blue whale, blue
I
whale.
was just gonna say, hey, uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, what you see when you're on the road? Get more people using blinkers or more people being stinkers? I'm glad we got the blinkers because for sure in Kaimuki, we stay safe, right? So for anyone who doesn't understand that, you weren't here last month. But basically, please use your turn signals when you're on the road. All right? Speaking of last month, I got a great question about headlights and gave a terrible answer. So I am here to, I hope, give a better answer than having a gigantic spotlight like that cartoon just showed. But the question was two parts. Headlights sure seem way brighter than anything in the past. And are those cars, Teslas, in compliance with the regulations? Next slide. So headlights sure seem way brighter. Well, they absolutely are. Yeah. So good old cars up through and now through the 2000s and now use halogen bulbs. They're about 1,000 lumens each, and they have that kind of yellowy orange warm hue. Well, certainly since 2000 and especially nowadays, we're going to LEDs, about 4,000 lumens each bulb, and it has that white to bluish tint. So first, yes, okay, headlights are getting brighter. Second part, Curtis, are those cars in compliance with the regulations? Yes, they are. So here are the federal and state standards that cars sold in Hawaii, especially, including, of course, Teslas, must apply to. Okay, and especially this standard number 108, this federal one, February 2022. Very new, very big one we'll talk about real soon, but absolutely they are in compliance. Oh, whoa, what's coming at us? Of? That is a Tesla. Very good. All right, let's let him go by. So this uncle was not alone. Just a quick search on the internet. It's all kinds of vehicles are driving around with their headlights askew, are stuck in brights mode. We're literally all going blind whenever we cross a Tesla at night. The new LEDs are insanely, needlessly bright. And even Howard Dash just recently did a KHON segment where he asked, have you ever been blinded by headlights from another vehicle? So this issue is happening. And so, oh, here, what's coming at us now? Ford F-150. Yep. All right. Okay, going on by. So an important fact I'm just going to have you put in your head. Vehicle travel between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m. accounts for around 22% of miles traveled, but 46% of the fatalities caused by traffic crashes. Night driving is disproportionately dangerous. So this issue is real, but it's not bad. Next. We have rules to do something about it, right? We're all required 30 minutes after sunset, 30 minutes before sunrise to have our lights on. Those forward-facing lights need to be white. About 22 inches, it's about my knee. 54 inches, about my chest, are the light heights on our vehicles. And about 2,400 apparent candle power brightness. Why is this important? Why is it important for us to follow this? Once again, for safety, right? So as of May 16, I always share this with you. Again, 32 fatalities. I'll just update that with May 19, the latest printout. Now 34 fatalities statewide, but 53 at this time last year. So things are changing. We are safer now. And next slide. Here in Kaimuki, we are still Vision Zero. No traffic fatalities within our borders. Yay. Next slide. Whoa, what's coming out of it? A V-dub, yeah, with this trending light line or light bar, and especially the illuminated emblem. Very trendy. Oh, wait, now what's this? Coming behind us. Okay, very good. Tesla truck right there. Okay, there's that light line again. Alrighty. Now, you don't see Tesla on there, but there are many, many cars with very good rated headlights. What I want you really to notice about what are the dates of those manufacturing. It's like now, right? So again, something's changing. Something's changing with the cars that are being sold now. And it's a good thing, even though my questioner last month was saying it is quite a nuisance, right? And all those internet people, it's blinding. We'll get there. We'll get there. Next slide. Now, I'm not picking on Toyota Tacomas. I just picked a Toyota Tacoma. But humans do things aftermarket. Okay, this truck was probably sold in compliance with the proper headlights. Now, let's see. They're basically white. Are they aligned properly? Maybe. Is there only white? There seems to be a lot going on with that lights. Are they still 54 inches maximum height from the road? Yeah, I don't know. We jack up our cars. We modify our cars. We do human things. But luckily, there is ADAS. Yeah, there is advanced driver assistant systems to take care of the human factor. Next slide. In February 2022, the US government finally updated their headlight policies. And they allowed, as Tesla calls it, the matrix adaptive beam, or the ADB, the adaptive driving beam. This is pretty cool. Look at the conventional. There's a guy with his high beams. There's a car with low beams. And there's the glare written for that person, right? But with adaptive driving beams, there is the creation of a tunnel, a shadow, a cutout, or shade. How do you like that? Shade at night for the other road users. So the glare is gone, but the glare doesn't cause accident. The light is there, which is what makes us safer. New cars are going that way. So if you remember the study that said it's incredibly dangerous to drive at night, the end of that study was this last slide. There it is. Oh, wait, who's coming at us? Rivian. Rivian, very good. Why are we showing Rivian? Because they are the model of this statement. Vehicles with better headlight visibility have lower nighttime crashes. The glare, the brightness, oh my gosh, what's wrong with this guy? Even if it's modified, even if it's jacked up, as we transition, please be patient. The federal government is catching up. Automobile manufacturers are way ahead. The laws here are catching up. The old cars will go out. These newer cars will come in, and they will bring brighter visibility while still preserving your happiness on the road for all users. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Do we have any questions or comments from the board?
So one thing that they've messed up on is those daylight, when your headlights are on all the time, but your tail lights aren't on. And then people go around driving at night thinking their headlights are on, but they're not really on because their tail lights are still dark. And then there they are on the freeway in front of you, can't even see them. So that's one thing that somebody needs to fix.
Yes, and that's ADAS. So that's again that
It's
taking it out of the human's hands and letting the car tech take over that for you.
They should just make it lights on all the time. I mean,
And-
tail
and-
lights and headlights, and then it would be not a problem. But right the way it is now, it's scary.
Got you. Law for the lawmakers.
Okay,
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Not related to headlights, but related to, which I think is dangerous, is the amount of vehicles that have full tinted windows. And as a bike rider and as a car driver, when I'm going to an intersection and if someone doesn't use their turn signal, I'm looking at the driver in the car to try to gauge them. I look at the wheels, all these things, but I'm trying to watch that driver. If they see me, are they acknowledging anything? And if so, my question is, why do so many vehicles, how is it so easy for people here? Maybe you have this answer, maybe you don't. I know you're not responsible for it, but why is it so easy for people to skirt the safety check process? Because I don't think you're allowed to have full-on black windows, windshield, everything. And I see so many vehicles like that. That's insane.
Yeah, I hear you. I would suppose that's a really good question for HPD because I think they both know that law and actually it's one that is enforceable with a pretty simple tool that they have, unlike the beam enforcement. But yes, again, for all of us as citizens, road safety, let's please tint our windows appropriately.
Thank you very much. Okay. Yes. Come up to the mic, sir.
In case you're wondering, I'm really old, probably older than anybody here. And I used to fly an airplane with an instructor. And the first thing he did on the ground was to clean the windshields, both on the outside and on the inside, to see that little speck coming straight at you. As we age, our vision is not as good. I've taken it upon myself to clean the outside and the inside of my windows. And I find that the inside, just through speaking or whatever, it gets clouded. And I find that just doing that little thing for the elderly makes a big difference. So I'm just going to suggest that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Moving on, we do have some resolutions we do want to cover and discuss. The first one is the community climate mandate for East Oahu. This is an overview and community input from board members, residents, local businesses, and government agencies in attendance. Did anyone have a chance? I'm hoping everyone had a chance. Is it a presentation? Okay. Okay, I had discussion in other, just wrong section. So you're going to speak to that now? Okay, thank you.
Tough to follow Ed. My name is Aloha McGuffey, and I'm here to introduce you all to a draft, actually, climate and resiliency mandate for East Oahu. And the mandate was uploaded by Curtis to the website with all of the other meeting materials. So when you have a chance, if you could pull down download the mandate. And I'll be talking today as well as coming back on the 17th, and I'll get into a little more. I think Brian put me on for 2 days. Thank you. So as you can see here, East Oahu includes Kaimuki through Waimanalo. And we all share the same watershed. So the watershed flows into either the Mauna Loa Bay, as you can see down at the bottom, or it flows into the Waimanalo Bay. And there are 3 different city and county plans that cover this particular area, and I'll get into that in a minute. Okay, Curtis. So whatever happens up in the mountains in the Ko'olau ends up down into our ocean. And so we must be concerned with the challenges that may bring, and also think about the solutions that we all have on a local level. We want to be able to not just protect our native forest in the mountains, but we also want to protect our coastal areas, including our coral reefs. Thank you. Curtis? So why does this mandate why is it necessary to have a mandate for East Oahu? Well, we all experienced recently the Konolo flooding, heavy rains. We also have at risk wildfires. Our reef, I live in, I should have said earlier, I'm also part of the Wailai Kahala Neighborhood Board. So I'm a board member of that group. And down in that area, we experience a lot of pollution in our coral reefs following the rainfalls. Strong winds and power outages that all of us experience. And then, of course, coastal erosion and sea level rise. Thank you, Curtis. These are all local challenges that need local solutions. So how did the mandate begin? Well, it actually began in 2022. My husband and I, Mark, are consultants, and one of our clients is the Kahala Hotel and Resort. And they asked us to put together a sustainability plan for them. And in the plan, we came up with 5 goals. One of our goals, and it's one of the more important goals, is that we must engage with our community to build a better, resilient hotel. Well, in order to engage with the community and build a resilience hotel, we have to go out into the community and work with them. And so in 2023, we hosted for the first time, and I should go back a bit, 2020, we formed a group called the Kiskahui, the Kahala Initiative for Sustainability, Cultural, and the Arts. Today, we have about 130 strong people who are now involved with this group, from government agencies to business owners, educators, residents of the community, and many, many nonprofits. Like you met Chris earlier from Aloha Tree Alliance. One of our other members is Tyrone Monteiro from Protect and Preserve Hawaii, Doug Harper from Malama Mauna Lua, and so forth. So we have about 20 nonprofits that are also part of the group. This group then decided to host last year, September 18 to 19, a symposium for climate resilience. Again, 100 people coming together to talk about what are some of the issues that we have in our community. And the idea was at the end, we would have actionable steps. So the main output from this group is the drafting of a mandate. And the mandate includes a number of different initiatives from 10 different roundtables that were part of our day 2. Curtis, if you can move to the next. So the roundtables included coastal resilience, cultural heritage, green infrastructure, education and youth, disaster preparedness, food security, clean streams and storm drains, ecosystems, and one of the key ones, the 10th table, was policy alignment and advocacy. So we discovered that our East Oahu has 3 different plans. The Kaimuki is located, as you know, in the primary urban center plan, development plan. From Wailai to Hawaii Kai, we are in the East Honolulu Sustainable Communities Plan, and then Waimanalo is in the Ko'olau-Poko Sustainability Plan. So we have 3 different plans, and all 3 plans have different terms. They're all on 10-year terms, but they start and end in different locations. So one of the big things that came out of the policy alignment was, hey, let's move to request that the city and county align all of our plans so that we can all meet locally, come up with our solutions, and then offer them up to the city and county in a way that is a little more aligned with what we're doing on the ground with what the city is doing. And it's important to do that because the city and county then takes our plans and it rolls up into the state plans. So if you want funding of any kind, infrastructural changes within your community, if it's not in the plan, ole for you. So it's important that you participate at the ground level and allow and help us to make those changes in the plans to get the correct funding and support and resources that we need to make our solutions actionable and implemented. All right. So as one of the things that we decided in our symposium is that let's take a look at the 6 neighborhood boards. We have Kaimuki, Palolo, Wailai, Kahala, Kuli'o'o, Kalani'iki, Hawaii Kai, and Waimanalo. And in the symposium, we also invited all of the neighborhood board members to attend. And from your board, Carol Mendricks was able, because I think, Paul, you were out and traveling, and so was Brian. And anyway, we were so happy to get Carol to participate. Palolo, we also had a great participation from the charter school that's in Palolo, Anuenue, Wailai Kahala. I was representing that neighborhood board. Kuli'o'o Kalani'iki, the chair of that group, is now also a chair, is also part of our Kiskahui. And then Hawaii Kai, we had several members of their board, and Waimanalo, the chair, Kane, was part of our symposium. We then formed a steering committee following the symposium to help to draft the neighborhood, to draft the mandate. And we have about 20 people now on the steering committee. Some of them include neighborhood board members, as well as residents, educators from Kaimuki Middle School. Liana Lamb is one of our steering committee members who helped draft the mandate. And the steering committee will now be responsible for finalizing the draft and working with the community to implement the actionable steps. Okay. And as I mentioned, we have the three city and county plans: primary urban center development plan, East Honolulu, and Ko'olau-Poko Sustainable Communities Plan. This is just a kind of a repeat. It's from the city and county, from the community, it goes into the city and county plans and then over to the state. And so one of the things that we did was we gave the plan to Kalani Ka'ana'ana, who is the executive director for Hawaii Green Growth. And his organization is responsible for managing the Aloha Plus Challenge dashboard for the state of Hawaii. So their 6 goals in the state is the implementation point or venue for the city and county plans that are rolling up into the state. And so we wanted them to make sure that our mandate aligns with what the state is doing. So they came back to us, and it now, the draft does align. But what really is important is for us to get more comments from the community. And so we are hoping that, after this meeting and perhaps after the second meeting in June 17th, we'll be able to get more input from you. Okay, Curtis? So this is kind of a process that we have on how we're going to be building the East Oahu. First was the Kiskahui I mentioned to you, the symposium, then getting input from the 6 neighborhood boards and community members. The next step is the important one, and that's creating project committees to prioritize and update our plan. And that would include, a clean stream and storm drain, or it might include your watershed restoration. So all of those different committees will then be organized. Our Kiskahui members, as I mentioned, 130 strong. Many of them are already doing some of this kind of work. And so we've asked them to lead the communities and then come back to you to find volunteers to help with some of those projects. 4, we're going to revise the mandate, and then once the mandate is revised and finalized, we then propose updates to the 3 city and county agencies, or it's actually DPP over at the city and county, to incorporate our ideas and our solutions into the next updating of the 3 city plans. So that's basically the process. And Curtis, next. So-
You're coming up on 11
Okay.
minutes, so if you could.
Okay, wrap it up. Yeah, so these are the areas that we're hoping to get you involved in. And as I mentioned, and also local agriculture, food security, community resilient hubs, renewable energy, backup power, etc. And the last slide, Curtis, I'll be coming back on June 17th, and I'll be sending your chair, vice chair, and Curtis a copy of a survey. We'd love to have you take the survey, give us your input, and then when I come in on the 17th, be prepared to, if you haven't gone online, I'll have extra copies here for you to take the survey. And mahalo nui, here's my email address and my phone number. Happy to answer any questions at this time for you, and or you can email me.
Okay, mahalo very much.
Okay.
Do we have any questions from our board members?
I know it's a lot.
I think everyone's kind of absorbing right now. Do we have any questions
back.
from our neighborhood at this time?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you
So
again.
we'll be back at our next meeting and do that survey. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, moving on. So we do have 2 resolutions. If I'm reading the agenda, those put together correctly. Discussion and consideration of resolution urging the Department of Transportation Services, DTS, and the City and County of Honolulu to restore Kaimuki's main bus truck route by rerouting bus 200 and bus trunk, excuse me, public school to in Kaimuki. So this is a subject we've talked about a number of times.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, this new and improved resolution is the result of the collaboration of 3 neighborhood boards, Diamond Head, Kaimuki, and Palolo. And what has happened is that we've been working for a year and a half on this, and our recommendations to DTS was declined because they said it was too expensive. So therefore, we went back to the drawing board to come up with a more cost-effective solution. And maybe Curtis, if you could put up the map. So so what we have is a general consensus of what we want to Route 200 to be, which is to restore the main trunk bus route in Kaimuki. And that would be where it goes along Kaimuki town, along Pahoa, where Pahoa Avenue, and also on 18th Avenue. And so therefore, the blue one, yes, that Curtis, yeah, that's the one. Okay. So this would be our proposed solution, which is a cost-effective one, because we are recommending that the loop to Kapiolani Park be removed. So as you can see, this route goes along Palolo, and you see that up in the map there, that big thumbs up, that's Palolo. And that's where about 80% of the ridership is, based on observation and also the distribution of ridership, and also spot surveys on the bus. So most of the Palolo people get off at Wailai Avenue and also Market City. Okay, below that, in Kaimuki and also Kapiolani Park, the ridership is practically zero. I mean, it's 80%, I would estimate, of the buses are traveling with no passengers. And for those that do, there are 4 passengers or fewer. So we are recommending this bus route because look, it's geographically the best route that fulfills all of DTS their three goals is the best Mauka to Makai route. And what would be better than that middle blue line there and the cutting through Kaimuki, which is the centrally located route connecting all of the residents in central Kaimuki, as well as all of the key destinations and resources, community resources along the way, like our library, the post office, all of Kaimuki town. And I'm going to compare that with the current routing, which shows you that that is not the case. So Curtis, if you could find the map, the one with the red. Okay, yeah, that one. Okay, this is the way bus 200 looks now. So you see the big thumbs up, and then the Palolo residents go to Market City, but then they go down to Kaimuki Avenue, 6th Avenue in Aloha. So you see at the bottom between Kapahulu and Kaimuki, you have their 3 bus routes clustered together. Okay, altogether there are 400 buses every day in that cluster. Okay, what about the middle of Kaimuki? You could see there's a big puka there. There's nothing compared to 0. And that is where your main commercial town is, to the right of the thumbs up. And going down there is Kaimuki Middle School and also Leahi Hospital, KCC, and all of those facilities there. That's where people want to go to. And by the way, the Palolo people, we have a lot of community support. We have several hundred households who support this route, 200 households in Palolo. It's interesting when I published the op-ed in the Star Advertiser, I got some people writing to me from Diamond Head saying that that bus around Kapilani Park does very little for them because it doesn't take them anywhere they want to go. And you look at that, that's the case because it's going to take you to our neighborhood. You know, you could, if you want to come to my house, that's fine, but it doesn't take you, and people there want to go to the library, they want to go to the post office, they want to go to Kaimuki town. It's particularly important if you have Queen Theater. Now you're talking about an entertainment facility, but if you look at this map, there is no bus, direct bus from the central Kaimuki to Kaimuki town. This is your main neighborhood that's going to support your businesses and all the goods and services and your community resources in Kaimuki. And so that's why this essential bus trunk line or route is so important for Kaimuki. This is what we're advocating for. Okay, let's take a look at, something very close to my heart, the map of the Kaimuki Middle School District. Curtis is the middle one. Okay, yeah, take a look at that one. Big finger pointing. Okay, yeah, I was really surprised because Kaimuki Middle School has over 1,000 students. I mean, did you know that? That's really close to my heart because I went to Kaimuki Intermediate. Okay, and so this is an age in which you really want to develop independence with your kids, especially if you have 2 working parents like I did. And so after school, I would go in front of Kaimuki Intermediate and take the bus, and I could go to Kaimuki Town, the library, or my after-school activities. I lived in Kapahulu, so it was too far to walk. You had to walk up Kilauea, that big hill, and so forth. So it's much better for me to take the bus. And I think that really helps our kids. We kind of, in this battle, almost got accused or implied that we were bus haters. But I have to tell you, we are bus lovers. We love the bus. We grew up with the bus. My kids took that bus. And by the way, my mom took that bus too, because post-war, that was labeled bus 3, Navy, and she worked at Pearl Harbor. So, as a parent, as someone who's looking to the future, we love the bus. We want it back. And we want our kids and our progeny to have better opportunities, not less, not fewer. If you take this bus away, you're actually cheating the kids, and it's creating a hardship for working parents. Because as you know, the public schools, they lock up after hours. So what are the kids going to do? So I think that we are not going to give up because to us, it's a personal thing. All of us on the committee are parents who raise their kids in Kaimuki, and we use those facilities. We use Kilauea District Park. These are our facilities. These are what we want our kids and the future to have. So I hope you will vote for this resolution. It consolidates a year and a half of work. I know it's long, but we did a lot of things. We did surveys. I went on the bus with the clipboard and I recorded people getting on and off and how many, whatever, so I could get distribution. And also, I also looked at the number of buses at intersections because Diamond Head were very concerned about the congestion. And so that's why they want that bus out of their area, because at one intersection, Kuhio and Kapahulu Avenue, you have 600 buses, over 600 buses a day, every 2 minutes. And so, they would be happy to remove, 68 buses there. And especially the turn there, they're having to make special accommodation. They really don't need that bus there. Around Kapiolani Park, you have, 250 buses going around every 5 minutes. Okay, so that's another issue, and that's why they are supportive of this. Palolo, they want to go, when we went to their meeting, they said, how do we get to Leahi Hospital? How do we get to, the Diamond Head Health Center? These are the places they want. How do we get to the library? And you can't anymore, not directly. So anyway, I hope you will vote for this new and improved Bus 200 resolution. And
Thank
you
you
very much.
much for all your effort and the time put in. Do we have any questions from our board members?
I just wanted to mention, thank you, Anita. And also there's a Kaimuki District Park right next to the middle school too, where a lot of kids go back and forth. I just wanted to mention that one too. Thank you.
Any questions from our board? Okay. Yeah, we're doing the board first. Hold on. So any online? Okay. One question I have is the Palolo, did they vote yay, nay?
They haven't yet.
They haven't yet.
Yeah.
What about,
Diamond Head, yes, they passed it last week.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Okay.
Forgot to
Great.
mention that. They passed it.
if you could come up to the mic, that'd be helpful, because no one online will be able to hear you. Sorry.
Vote, when does the vote come up? Right, is it tonight? Yeah. Oh, tonight, oh.
She's putting forth a resolution for the neighborhood board to consider.
Oh, just one more comment too. About a year ago, I spoke to the librarian here upstairs and she said she misses seeing all those middle school kids, coming after school. I was one of those kids too, and so I really felt sad when she said that. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions or comments from our neighborhood?
Hi, Angie Knight. I sit on the Diamond Head, Kapahulu, St. Louis Heights Neighborhood Board. I just also wanted to share that the St. Louis Heights Community Association is also in support of the resolution. They have, I can't speak on their behalf because I'm not a member of it, but they also are concerned with the access to Kaimuki town as well. So even though they are the Heights, they're still looking at this as a whole Kaimuki area concern. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other last?
Paul,
Yeah, what?
question.
Yes, Miss Laurie.
Hi, Paul. For 18th Avenue, yeah, one of our residents from a few years ago came to testify saying that he wanted the 18th Avenue bus route sort of eliminated because it was very dangerous for the kids because there's no sidewalks and the buses come really close, right? So he mentioned to me, I saw him at Colin Mall one day. I said, hey, there's no buses on 18th Avenue. He was happy because that's what he wanted because it was a danger. So would you reconsider, not putting it on 18th, leaving it like that? Because it's a danger to the students, yeah.
Well, I think that in front of Kaimuki Intermediate, there is a sidewalk. It's quite safe there. So I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the route to Kaimuki, to Pahoa, but there's really not any stop signs there, or it would be very few. So the main thing is that the kids would be able to get to the library after school and also to Kaimuki town where they can transfer. Right now, they can't get there,
To mention to 18th Avenue is quite level, not like Aloha with all the bumps. And also they have wide shoulder areas, so the visibility is quite good, but I understand it is still, a street, yeah.
Well, that bus route has been in existence almost 80 years now. So, yeah, almost 80 years. And for the city to just take it away without any, informing the public or any public input, we consider that to be an affront because we are taxpayers. We don't hate the bus. We love the bus. We want our bus service back to serve our community. It's not serving Kaimuki. It is not serving Diamond Head.
Okay.
Thank
I'm
you.
for that, but just safety, I'm concerned. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we need a motion? Okay, we have a motion from Audrey. Do we have a second? Okay, second. Okay. Can we just do a yay, nay? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Mahalo.
Thank
Mahalo.
you. Okay, moving on. Since it's 8:25, let's get this puppy going. We have an election coming up and we're looking to have a candidate forum as we've always done in the past. We are looking to partner with Kaimuki Business and Professional Association, KBPA, looking for House District 21 candidates. And we'll do an abbreviated meeting on July 15th and do it on that day, and we'll have it in here as well. We're looking for a motion to have that be done, and then to looking for one of our board members to hopefully step up and help coordinate that happening. So the first thing I'm looking for is a motion to have us host a forum. Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion moved and approved. Now we're looking for a volunteer to help with that effort. Keep in mind, it's not necessarily the day of. Typically, what we've done last year or last time was Brian Kang was the moderator for that. If someone would like to do that, I'm sure he would relinquish that role. But we're looking for someone to kind of help coordinate that effort with KPPA. He was on KPPA before. He's very involved. So we're looking for maybe some of the newer members, not the newest, but some of the newer members. It's not a lot of work.
So,
Let them lead the effort.
Paul?
Yes.
So I'm the one that proposed this motion. So I would like to recommend that Brian again be the moderator.
We're looking for a volunteer to help coordinate it with PPA, not volunteer someone who's not here.
So what happened in
Nice
prior 2 prior years, KBPA did the coordinating before the event. So you're looking to replace KBPA doing that?
No, we're looking for someone from the board to work with KPPA to coordinate that effort.
It wasn't necessary
Right.
because it was just
It's
coordinating.
mostly you guys doing it. We're just looking for someone on the board to be part of that. We'll worry about the moderator, not today.
Okay, so not outside of the moderator, it really is a one-person job.
Okay,
That's
and
right.
you guys got it. KPPA.
Yes,
Okay,
and it'll be myself as a KBPA member.
okay, there you go.
It's easy.
I understand that. You got to get them in the room. We have a place and location ready. Okay, so are you saying we need a moderator for that?
Yes.
Okay. What the hey? I guess. Okay, motion moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? I feel like I'm elementary school now. Everyone's take a step back and personal. Okay, anyway, moving on. We do have any community concerns from our residents? Keep in mind, we just have a few minutes. Do we have any concerns from a resident that is not already on the agenda that we already have not talked about? Come up to the mic and say your name, sir.
Hi, thank you. Good evening. My name is Jason Liang. I'm running for city council. I have some literature available on the table but over here, and I will be around after the meeting if you would like to ask me any questions. I would love to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, do we have any other concerns? Yes, ma'am. Please state your name.
Gonna Don't want to be hunched. Okay, I have two things, so I'll make it really quick. As previously said, hi everyone, I'm Angie Knight. I am one of your other candidates for District 21. So you can talk to me later about that. If you would
District
like.
21 is what now?
Oh, sorry. That is currently Jackson Sayama's district.
And the,
It is St. Louis Heights, Palolo, Wilhelmina Rise, Malani Heights, and Kaimuki, Malka, each one.
and it's House of Representatives.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Yes. There's that. And then the other thing, which is more on my neighborhood board hat, as I said, I'm on the St. Louis Heights subdistrict. The neighborhood commission right now is looking at district boundaries. St. Louis Heights subdistrict would like to propose being absorbed and joining the Kaimuki neighborhood board. I know this is a longer conversation, just wanted to bring it up now, and say that the St. Louis Heights Community Association also has testimony for it. Won't take too much of your time, but just to share that for our concerns as a neighborhood, as we are part of YLI, we feel like we align more with Kaimuki district. So thank you.
Thank you. Is that something we need to, Curtis, I'm going to lean on you for your expertise, bring it up with NCO?
Oh, sorry.
Bring it up at the next meeting. We'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting. And then possibly we need to kind of run it by NCO because that's their Kuleana, not necessarily.
Yes. So other hat as a neighborhood commission member.
What? You will bring it up to them.
No, I can share a little bit about that. The neighborhood commission has asked that neighborhood boards look at their boundaries and work with their neighboring districts to propose a resolution, have it passed by their board, send it back to the commission, and then they can look at what they can do. So that is proposed by the neighborhood commission themselves.
Okay.
So they want our feedback.
Okay, we'll talk offline after.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Any other questions, concerns from our residents at this time? You can state your name, please.
My name is Amy Brown and I'm a resident of Kaimuki. And I often come down Paula Drive to 16th Avenue intersection where there's a lot of accidents. And so my concern that I want to share is I would like to put it on the agenda for next board meeting that we get our feedback from the Department of Transportation on doing this suggestion. And that is as you come down and you're headed Mackay, that there be a green light for that direction, then a red light for going Malka, allowing everyone to go left, straight, or right. Because right now, there's sometimes 3 or 4 light changes before you actually get to move into the intersection and around. I just spoke to my neighbor right there, and he actually avoids that bottleneck because he goes at another road. But the concern is, you know, it causes accidents. The impatience, the speed to get to work, and it results in collisions. And he's very much involved in safety, and so is the the fire department. 60 calls, emergency calls. Wow. So I just also wanted to ask how best to bring this up before the board to get action.
So a couple steps. One, and please be advised, this issue has been brought up a number of times over the years.
You mean actually having a longer light going Mackay?
From Mackay,
Specifically,
Malka,
yeah,
all the different ways.
all the different
All
ways.
the different ways from that intersection has been looked on, and DTS has done studies. My suggestion is twofold. One, yes, bring up a concern. That's what this neighborhood board is for, to bring up concerns so that your elected officials can hear it and then hopefully do something about it, or at least address your concern. Get your council person involved. Your mayor's rep would be someone, when he was up earlier, questions or comments, that would be the time to address it with that individual because that's a city and county road, therefore it's city and county, therefore it's mayor. That'd be the 2 most direct ways to get it in the ears of your elected officials to get them involved with your concern. That's the first thing. Again, next meeting, if we want to email Brian and myself and Curtis, and we need to have it on the agenda to have it talked about again, but it'll be a DTS question.
Well, I don't want to talk about it again.
Well, that is
I
part of,
want them
that's
to.
part of the process.
Well, I've already brought it up 6 months ago here.
Okay,
So
Yeah.
I brought it up when they were talking about the dog parks.
right.
And that's how I got the dog park added. So I'm sitting on a previous request
Right.
already, so
Yeah.
I don't want to bring it up again.
Okay.
So I want to shortcut this.
Okay. Go to your elected officials directly and
But
say,
it's a DOT issue, isn't it?
yes, but they are your elected officials who will be able to take your concern to the appropriate department.
Isn't this also the function of the board to take it
The
to the
function of the-
DOT? There's a representative from the DOT.
There's not a function, it's not the direct function of, the direct function of the board is to have neighborhood, have that conversation with their elected officials. That's, I mean, generalizing a little bit, but that's basically what the neighborhood board is for. So your elected officials are here, you can speak with them, talk to them, raise your concerns,
Do you have a liaison with the DOT for the Kaimuki area?
not directly with the neighborhood board or the Kaimuki area.
Vice Chair, Director McKee can give an update from the Department of Transportation Services,
Yeah.
DTS.
Yeah. Director
Next
McKee.
month.
I'm still on, by the way, and so.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm still monitoring. So if we have something that I need to take to DTS, I can do it this week.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Mr. McKee. I always have great responses from the Department of Transportation and associated like engineers and they have always been very helpful to me. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to bring it up anyway to the next board meeting
Yeah.
agenda. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks, Brian, for staying on. So you can take her concern and raise it up.
You bet. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Any other residents' concerns? Okay. Okay, Board of Business, report from the Transportation Committee, Audrey?
Yes, just quickly, I just want to thank on behalf of the Transportation Committee, Juanita Liu, Leolani Waki, and myself, thank you for the board to supporting the Bus 200. This is the second amendment to the original resolution. And so we're grateful for your support for that.
Thank you. Okay, approval of written summary of video record for our April 15th meeting. Everyone had a chance to review? Any corrections? Curtis, you have a,
So Secretary Abe I uploaded the amended corrections with your remarks, which was distributed to all the board members highlighted in red text. So if the board does not have any objections to that, a motion and second would be appropriate at this time.
okay. Would like someone to make a motion? A second? Christine? Okay, all in favor, say aye. All right, thank you. Okay, and report of board members meeting, other meetings, attending other meetings. Anyone attend another meeting? Okay, there are some letters I just got handed, so we'll do this really, really quick. There is a request for comments for a zone change application for Central YMCA zone change. Provide comments to DPP by June 1st. There is a special license application submitted for Kaimuki LLC DBA Laila. They look like they're doing liquor license request. From May 1st, 2026 through. I do not have an address location though. Oh, here it is, 1108 12th Avenue. Okay, another liquor license request is from Manoa Honey and Mead. And their address is 1132 Cocoa Head Avenue. And they're looking to start that on June 1st. If you have any questions or concerns about that, please reach out to the Liquor Commission. Okay, there is a zoning variance application for the Parkview Drain Waste and Vent Pipe Replacement and Fire Safety Retrofit. Okay, and those are the ones I have there.
We'll pass. Can we go back to something or?
What is the something? The minutes?
Remember that her dog was struck by an arrow and died? Where did she testified here? So there was a woman who testified here that her dog was struck by an arrow and died. Yeah.
I don't recall where that happened.
Oh, can you use the mic, please?
Audrey,
I don't know where it happened, but she just came here to testify because she was concerned about the archery at Maumai, but she just used that her personal experience with arrows. But I'm not sure where exactly it happened.
I don't recall if it was.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking, just double checking it. and
Yes,
that's-
the person testified that it was a friend in Japan who had that occurrence.
Got it. So I think, because anyway, I know it's dead and it's done, but I think it's important to be clear. So we had somebody show up who said that somebody else's dog got shot by an arrow in Japan. I think again, so it's dead, but again, I do think it's important that we're clear because it does sound like that's a direct person saying that their dog got shot by an arrow, but we're not clear on this. And that's going in, and it does leave a sort of a stain on like.
Referring to the people that have that memory.
Take it out if you want, but that's what I heard. It's in the recording.
Oh, can you use the mic? Oh, sorry.
Brian was chairing that evening, and he gave her a lot of time to speak, and she wanted to share that experience. And it was her dog, because she was very sad about it.
So she individually, her dog was
Yes,
shot and killed.
yeah.
Where?
I don't know where. It was something to do with archery.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. Okay,
I
fair enough.
can't say where, but if you want to take it out, I mean, it's up to
Real,
you.
real quick.
Oh, the microphone, please.
And I worked in Japan for a
You
period.
got to use the mic.
I worked in Japan for a period of time, and my friend's dog was injured.
So you were the person.
I'm the person, yes.
Okay.
If that is the one you're referring to. November, yes, yes. It was injured. It was in Japan,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And we took
So-
the dog to the vet
Gotcha.
because we didn't know what was
So the
wrong.
gist of it is you knew someone who had a
I
dog
was with my friend
in Japan.
in Japan.
Okay. That's the gist of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just as a point, and they didn't know exactly, they found an injured dog and the vet
That was
said,
my friend's dog.
okay. So the reason I'm bringing this up is we're making this an official and it sounds like a he said, she said detail. It's a little messy. I would take that out. That's what I would, if it's already done, it's already done, but I'm just looking at it. That's misleading.
You know, I think, okay, so she was with her friend, and that was a friend's dog, but you're together when the dog got shot by the arrow.
Did you see
So, I
the
mean, we
dog
can
get shot by
put
the
it that
arrow?
way.
Or did you find a wounded dog?
Her dog was injured. We took the dog to the vet, and the dog said, we thought it might have been somebody with a slingshot or something, you know. But the vet said, no, this was from a Japanese arrow. Okay.
So the statement here in the note looked like it is an accurate summation of that. Her dog struck by arrow. Okay. Well, easy to ask the question.
Yeah, I just wanted
Yep.
to clarify.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay, 8:40 and change. Next meeting, June 17th. We have some things on the agenda already. A lot of broadcasts can be seen on channel 49. Please don't watch me on TV. And then other than that, meeting adjourned.